Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Friends, before going into the details of the war, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Please support by subscribing and turning on the notification bell. We are a strong community. The first train crossed the border on a new route between Ukraine and Romania. The first Ukrainian train was tested on the broad gauge line Brlibaș-Valea-Vișului on November 8, 2022, providing a cross-border connection to the Romanian railway network. It is reported by Railway Supply magazine with reference to Railway Pro. To resume passenger traffic on the broad gauge line, CFR SAW's branch SRCF Cluj carried out repairs, replacing 14,000 wooden sleepers and 36 tons of track material. To ensure the safety of the track and reopen it, the company laid 400 tons of crushed stone. Economic justification for creating a network of stationary solar power plants to service the infrastructure of the city of Dnipro starting from December. It is planned to start a regular service on the section Rahov-Dilov, Valea Vișului, Romania. It is assumed that this will be 2 trains per day. At the Romanian station, you can transfer to CFR trains, for example, to the Romanian capital. The trip from Râchiv to Romania is expected to take about 40 minutes. Border control will be carried out directly on the train. Traffic on this section will be restored after a break of more than 20 years. The connection was suspended in 2000. Romania is also working on a second section of the border. We are talking about the section Câmpulung-Lătița, Săietu Marmației. The work is scheduled to be completed in November 2022. CFR SA is making continuous efforts to cope with the increase in the capacity of passenger and freight rail traffic both on the border of Ukraine, through the border points of Halmeu and Vixani, and with the Republic of Moldova. Repair and capital works, as well as the improvement of transit conditions, led to the resumption of the work of railway lines that provide transshipment between standard and broad gauge lines. Ukraine and Lithuania agree to permit each other's citizens to change their driver's license without taking exams. Citizens of Lithuania and Ukraine will be exempted from the requirement to pass the practical exams to change their driver's license for one granted in the other country. The announcement came immediately after a meeting held between the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs of Lithuania Sigita Skajevienė and the delegation headed by the Ukrainian Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs Bogdan Drapyat. ShengenVisaInfo.com reports. According to the Lithuanian Ministry of Internal Affairs, the final draft of this agreement is being coordinated by Ukrainian institutions, so it is expected to be signed soon. We support Ukraine with all our abilities and help the Ukrainians who have arrived here, so we aim to sign a new bilateral agreement as soon as possible, which will allow Ukrainian citizens in Lithuania to change their driver's licenses without exams. The same will apply to Lithuanian citizens in Ukraine, Vice Minister Skajevienė pointed out in this regard. According to her, the path of Lithuania's reforms began immediately after the restoration of independence and gained special momentum to join the European Union. The Vice Minister also added that Lithuania wants to share its experience with Ukraine, the European integration path of which has just begun. In addition, the same emphasized that modern, transparent, efficient public services and digitization offer many new opportunities for both citizens and the state. She also mentioned the introduction of the Owner Declaration Code, SDK, in May 2021, which shows the current owner of the car, and contributed to the reduction of false transactions and the increase of tax collection from sold cars by 2.4 times. Commenting on this decision, Ukrainian Deputy Minister Drapyat said that despite the start of the war in Ukraine, it is striving for reforms and the development and efficiency of public services. As he explains, the experience of Lithuania and the exchange of good practices in the digitization of services and other areas are precious for Ukraine. In the meeting, the vice ministers also discussed further strengthening cooperation and digitalizing public sector services. The deputy minister also presented the DİZİ mobile application that operates in Ukraine, which stores officially recognized digital versions of personal documents, such as driver's licenses, national identity cards, and car registration documents. The purpose of the Ministry of Internal Affairs invitation and the Ukrainian delegation visiting Vilnius this week is to familiarize themselves with the procedures for issuing driver's licenses and vehicle registration and legal regulations in Lithuania. EU proposes €18 billion support package for Ukraine. The European Commission on Wednesday proposed an unprecedented support package for Ukraine of up to €18 billion for 2023. This will come in the form of highly concessional loans, disbursed in regular installments as of 2023. This stable, regular and predictable financial assistance, averaging €1.5 billion per month, will help cover a significant part of Ukraine's short-term funding needs for 2023, which the Ukrainian authorities and the International Monetary Fund estimate at €3 to €4 billion per month. The support put forward by the EU would need to be matched by similar efforts by other major donors in order to cover all of Ukraine's funding needs for 2023. With this package, the EU intends to help Ukraine pay wages and pensions and maintain essential public services running, such as hospitals, schools, and housing for relocated people. It will also allow Ukraine to ensure macroeconomic stability and restore critical infrastructure destroyed by Russia in its war of aggression, such as energy infrastructure, water systems, transport networks, roads and bridges, the Commission said. Support under the instrument will be accompanied by reforms to further enhance the rule of law, good governance, anti-fraud and anti-corruption measures in Ukraine. Therefore, while taking into account the evolution on the ground, financial support will be framed by policy conditions geared towards strengthening Ukraine's institutions and preparing the ground for a successful reconstruction effort, as well as supporting Ukraine on its European path, the 27-member bloc said. Further, the Commission said the funds will be provided through highly concessional loans, to be repaid in the course of maximum 35 years, starting in 2033. In a further expression of solidarity, the EU also proposes to cover Ukraine's interest rate costs, through additional targeted payments by member states into the EU budget. EU member states and third countries will also be able to add more funds to the instrument, to be used as grants, should they wish to do so. The funds will then be channeled through the EU budget, allowing Ukraine to receive the support in a coordinated manner, the bloc added. The Russia-Ukraine conflict, which started 8 months ago, has jolted Europe. The European Union and its member states have shown solidarity with people fleeing the war. The Union has immediately mobilized support to the Ukrainian government to keep its essential functions going, on top of the emergency and humanitarian assistance and military aid provided to Ukraine. Ukraine recaptures first village after Russia orders Kherson retreat. Jubilant Ukrainian troops proclaimed the liberation on Thursday of the first village they recaptured since Moscow ordered one of the war's biggest retreats, but Kyiv remained wary, warning that fleeing Russians could turn Kherson into a city of death. A small group of Ukrainian soldiers was shown on state television in the center of the village of Sniharovka, around 55 kilometers north of Kherson city, greeting dozens of residents in a square with a Ukrainian flag fluttering from a pole behind them. Reuters verified the location of the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.